And we're live. Welcome back, everybody, to episode 252 of Behind the Toolbox. That's like 4.9 years. We're not quite at 5 years yet, but working on it consistently every single Wednesday. Now, two weeks ago, we did have to do it on a Tuesday, but weekly for 252 weeks, we've done this. I don't know how we did it, but we did it, whether I was laying in a hospital bed, on a freaking honeymoon, at RoofCon, wherever we were, we did it. We made sure the show happened. And here we are today. We're at RoofCon 2024, Orange County Convention Center, or freaking Lando. I'm excited to be here. I've met a lot of great people already. Got to reunite with a lot of great people that I haven't seen since last year, probably. And of course, my great friend, Eric, who it's always been a privilege. It's always a blast to run into you and talk about poop stories and vitamins that we take to help us poop. And shit like that. But we're grateful to be here. I'm grateful one day at a time. I've gotten here. We've built this amazing thing because of the B&H app on my phone, laying in bed at night, scrolling B&H's website, looking for cameras and shit like that to buy over the years.
Oh, yeah.
So if anyone, because people ask me, like, what did you do? I was like, well, unfortunately, somebody turned me on to B&H. And just, most people scroll Facebook and shit at night. Well, I scroll, B&H.
You do nerd camera stuff.
Yeah, I do nerd camera shit. And Vic and I connected probably about 4 years ago, and he's kind of picked the torch up and ran with all the tech end of things, and really has designed and helped build what it is that we have here to be able to produce such great content that we do, educational, impactful stuff like that. Because a lot of people are like, well, why do you do this? Why do a podcast?
It's because you like the attention and you're ego-driven whore.
Well, that's probably the exact opposite.
I know. That's why I said it.
And it's funny because Vic interviewed me earlier today, and it was like, up until 2 months ago, did I actually enjoy doing this? I hated it. I hate people. I don't like talking to people. I'm an introvert by nature.
Yep.
So I've continuously pushed myself, then just pushed my week after week after week after week of interviewing people. And I think I was more afraid of making them look bad, coming onto a shitty podcast, having really stupid questions. But then I kind of came to this realization, this conclusion of like, I'm really enjoying this because we've actually been able to provide a platform for you to have very insightful stuff that people are listening to and learning from for free, right? And they know they can tune in each week because we'll have somebody from some place in the roofing industry, whether it's marketing or our t-shirt maker or the guy that makes our yard signs, shit like that. Anybody, and all kinds of people that just really talk about like authentic, real stuff that, the ups and downs. And it's not, and this persona that social media has given us today, it's like everybody only posts about the wins.
Yeah.
Right. So if I'm not at that level of where they're at, right, then I'm failing. And I think we all go through that. And it's like, they talk about like the models, and girls are looking at these magazines and stuff, and they're, 10 pounds overweight, like that gives them like this complex. But like, not that those people aren't real, but it gives you this false sense of inadequacy.
Yeah.
I guess, you know what I mean? And that's where this has like, I've lost $60,000 on a job before. We've replaced the wrong person's fucking house and ended up giving them a free roof, but yet still had to go put the fucking roof on that we were supposed to, but explain to that homeowner why we were a day late.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I've
like,
done that.
Yeah. Like shit happens. It has happened, but fortunately our wins, which, we failed many times, but monetarily our successes have outweighed monetarily our failures. And I think that's for all entrepreneurs, but a lot of people don't want to talk about that real authentic shit and I know you hate the word now. I think authentic.
I just think I hate the fact that like it became my brand.
Yeah.
Right. And now I'm at a place where I'm wanting to change it because the words become so bastardized everywhere, and everybody uses it and uses it wrong, I think, a lot now too. And so it's why I've kind of changed my message to that it's about being genuine, right? About being genuine and present. And yes, authenticity is still like a real thing. And like, we still need to talk about it, right? We still need to be authentic humans, but what does that mean? Because you could be an authentic piece of shit. right?
Truly.
So then that kind of changes the dynamic in the conversation that happens, because it's like, well, no, that's just authentically who he is. He's just a garbage fucking human being, right?
Mhm.
So that was why I kind of changed it to be like genuine. And not that you can't interchange that too, but like when I hear the word genuine, I think of like a good, genuine human, and like what they say is what they mean,
Mhm.
right? Where I can authentically be a liar. That's just authentically who somebody might be, right? But if you're actually a genuine person, that's how I can make connections with people, right? And to your point in the beginning, I was going to ask you a question.
Mhm. Go for it.
Because you said, hey, I've gotten to meet all these new people and blah, blah, blah. But like, we both are introverts by nature, right?
Yeah.
And I'll say that same thing, but then I'll have this thing come up in my mind being like, I didn't really want to meet all these fucking people.
Right.
Right. Like,
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to just come see the people that I already know. But what I've learned is that when I get outside of that comfort zone is when things actually happen. And so like, I have to force myself to allow me to meet those people, because maybe one of them can be my new tie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you just,
Right.
you never know, but I have to force myself into that uncomfortability, because for me it is, right?
Totally.
Like, I mean, I was sitting over at my booth, got done with an interview, and had 3-4 people come walk up wanting to talk. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm sitting there and I'm like, I don't like what? What? I don't care. I have to pretend to care, Eric. Fuck, pretend to care more, and like, and then I feel bad about that. And then I'm like, but that's and I'm trying to get better at that, right? But like, these events, coming back, the point of these events is to get outside of that natural space that you're in that circle, and that bubble, and putting yourself out there so that you can meet these people that we need to meet, right? Yes. I brought some guys from my team down, and last night we had a little talk and a meeting, and I was like, look, if you, this was my challenge to everybody. I said, if you are normally a listener, right, and you sit back, I'm challenging you while you're here to go out and talk to more people. And if you are naturally a talker and don't shut the fuck up, I'm going to challenge you to shut up and just listen to people talk and learn something, right? So whatever it is that you're already naturally, fucking stop it for 3 days, do the opposite, because that's what you're going to gain something out of that, right? Because you went and got uncomfortable. That's going to give you the opportunity to learn. Because if you don't talk to people, but you force yourself to go do it, you're going to learn. If you always are the one that's fucking blah, 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 and always talking because you feel like you have to fill space, sit back and just shut up and listen for a little bit and see how much energy comes your way, right? Yeah. Like, once you see that flip, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. No, that's a good point too. One of the things I've personally been working on myself is learning how to ask the right questions. Not taking the conversation hostage by talking too much and by over listening and overthinking, but and not thinking about what I want to say next. And that's kind of hard during a podcast, but I really have been able to, I don't want to say I'm mastering it. I haven't mastered that craft yet, but to sit here and actually listen to somebody's words and take in and acknowledge what they're saying and being in the conversation, right? Because my mind can be in 15 other places. And honestly, I didn't hear a word you just said. I actually had,
to be fair, sometimes people are boring too, though.
Yeah, it's hard. It is hard being where your feet are. Yes. It really is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think the person that is asking the questions and not talking is the person that's in control of the conversation.
100%.
Okay. And coming up and having the right questions. I was just with Chris Hofstra, and we were over at Charlie Chena's booth. And Chris owns a SaaS company, and Charlie has a SaaS company. And Charlie was talking about, his engineers and code writers and stuff like that. And I'm kind of like, and I'm interested in that stuff. And I'm just listening to Charlie. But Chris right away started asking really good questions because he's in the same space. And I'm kind of in the same space with Chris. Okay. But I didn't think of, but another good example of like, shit, I should have came up with that question. I even thought that to myself, like, Chris, that was a really good, like, I owe him like, fuck.
Good question, guy.
Yeah, good question. But asking the right questions, not being afraid to ask questions, because I think a lot of times for me, I thought that if I asked a lot of questions, people
look stupid.
Yeah, And I grew up in a shut your fucking mouth household. Like we were supposed to
be seen and not heard.
Yes. Yeah. Right. So for me, or to raise my hand in school and stuff like that. So like, and going back to, be a why person, be curious, ask more questions, because honestly, I wouldn't know what I know today if I didn't learn how to start asking the right questions and finding the right person to ask those questions to. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So that's a great, to your point, is like, if you're the guy that normally takes over the conversation, learn to just pay attention. Listen to it and come up with some good questions and be intrigued. Like, oh, okay, tell me more.
You don't always have to have the answer to the question.
Yes.
I think that's the key.
Yeah. Right? And it's okay. Yep. It's okay to be like that. And getting back to your point of like getting outside our comfort zone to come to things like this, right? As an entrepreneur, and the word for me that I can't stand anymore is leader or leadership. I've spun that word out. I'm trying to come up with a different.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it would be.
I know what you're saying.
But if you're in some type of management, I know we're not supposed to manage people.
Yeah.
Leadership position, role, sales manager, whatever. Like these are things you have to do. You have to step outside your comfort zone and network.
Yeah.
Like you have to network with people, and really a conversation, that's really just networking and asking the right questions, giving them enough space to speak, but having the right conversation, because some of the best conversations is when you let me just run my mouth. I walk away from that conversation. I think to myself, that was a really good conversation, even though that other person didn't get to speak much, but they were asking me questions because they were truly interested in myself or what we did or how we built this. But and I want to do that for you. I want to reciprocate that to you, give you a moment, ask you some questions. So then you walk away feeling good. Like, that was a really good question. Like he was really, truly interested in what I did.
Yes. And I think that can be a learned skill, right? Like we have to practice that.
For sure.
Because I get stuck on that. I mean, we both interview people all the time, right? And keep conversations going. But we've all read a bunch of John Maxwell books, right? And what does he talk about the most in there is like, he takes people to lunch, every week, whatever. And he asks these amazing questions. And like, I read that book or I listen to it and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to ask.
Where are you coming up with these questions?
Yeah. Well, and here, the other thing too, is like, we don't know what we don't know. So how do we know to ask the question? You know what I mean? Like I get really envious of the people that do really know how to ask
great questions.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I don't know. Like that's something I got to dig into a little bit, right? Is like, how do we research that? I assume that we could use AI, you know what I mean? Like, sure. I don't know, but like, I need to figure that out because I think there is a better way because it is a learned skill. Totally. And if you get better at that, at learning the right things too.
Yeah. I think what helps. Yeah. I think what helps is actually starting out just being curious.
Yeah.
If you can put yourself in that mindset of like, I'm curious and I want to know more. And really the first question could be like, tell me more about that.
Right.
And then they go down into that rabbit hole. And then that's where the next question comes from. But for me, it's just being where my feet are, being sincerely interested in what they're saying and interested in what it is that they're doing. Yeah. And then the questions for me just kind of start coming because now I'm interested. Like I'm really, truly interested in what it is that they're doing. And then it kind of gives them that time. Like I said, they walk away from the conversation feeling good because, and I think I heard that on an Ed Milet podcast that like, that's what he does. Even if he's in a taxi cab, like he's not sitting there running his mouth in the back seat. He's actually asking the taxi cab driver questions about his family. Like, how long have you been in America? Oh yeah. Is your whole family, like just making people feel important because I'm interested in you.
Right.
And I think
genuinely.
Yeah, genuinely. And I think that goes a long way in relationships and networking with people is being, and with it, even if it's just adding value to somebody's life because of having a reciprocal conversation with them and giving them the time and being truly interested in them.
Yeah.
Right. Is a part of networking, a part of relationship, and a part of friendship.
So I think that, and so that's the thing. I literally had a meeting about this the other day in that I don't allow anybody to say that they're going networking or they're going to a networking event, right? Because that term implies a strictly transactional relationship,
yes,
right?
It is.
And so my, what the fuck was that? What I've been trying to teach is if you are going to a quote unquote networking event, your only goal when you go there is to make a relationship.
Yes.
Right? You're there to make a friend, somebody that you like, that likes you.
Yes.
Build that relationship and don't fucking ask for anything.
Yes.
Don't ask for anything.
That's the whole point.
Because then it will just come to you if you do it the right way.
This is what my breakout's about.
Oh,
it's
is
called
it?
Your network is your net worth.
Right.
Yeah. It is, but it isn't, right? You need to be giving more value than receiving in compensation.
Yes.
That's exactly what this whole thing's about. And that's honestly reviewing my career. That's that I've always landed the job, got the job done, and worried about getting paid later.
Yep.
Now, that's good, but you can also, long story short, run into cash flow issues.
But that's why you have other people to deal with that.
Yes. Right.
Right. Because I don't like asking for money.
Right.
I don't like asking for it.
I don't.
Right.
Yeah. I
My
don't want to
wife
beg. Yeah.
loves fucking asking for money.
No doubt.
Right.
Yes.
She'll get on the phone and be like, bitch, you owe us $100,000.
Yes.
You're paying now. And I'm like, oh, it's okay. Like whenever they get around to it. You know?
Right. Yeah.
That's me. Right. She's like, no, they got our goddamn money.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, go get it, honey.
Exactly.
Go get it.
But within a relationship, it's like, what value, what are you doing to improve the quality of that person's life? Like, that's what networking is about. Not you dropping your business card off, but you getting their business card and referring them and introducing them to other people.
Yes.
It's not about what you're getting from that conversation.
Bring more to the table.
Yes.
Than they do.
Yes. That's exactly what my breakout is about.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Love that. Well, now that I know that, I'll send them.
Yeah.
I'll send my guys.
Yeah. Bring them over. I'm hoping it's
When is it?
Friday, 9 a.m. Room 3.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. Everybody got that? Write that down.
Got that. Room
you got
3.
that on your calendar.
Yep.
We're going to standing room only.
No one is nodding.
I know. What the fuck? Thanks. There you go. Good job.
We need more nodding.
Yeah. Yeah. But so, networking, that's kind of the season I'm in right now. I'm actually honing that craft. What we're talking about is learning how to ask the right questions, learning how to actually absorb what it is that you're talking about. Because I have an issue. I had Sydney, Bay, Tim Brown's wife's name. Bay. What's her name? Bay. It's Bay. B-E-A. Bay. Sorry if she's listening. I'm really sorry. Tim Brown's wife was saying something to me yesterday, and I asked her to repeat what she said because I said, I didn't hear a word that you just said. I said, I am so jacked up right now. Like, I know I'm sitting here nodding right now to you, but I was like, unfortunately, there's so much going on in my brain. I didn't hear a word that you just said. And she was like, oh my God, that happens to me all the time.
Yeah.
So she repeated to me what she said.
Right.
I was like, thank you. I'm sorry. And she's like, no, that was totally cool. Little random, but totally cool. Like, I'm trying to get better at that because I really want to hear what you're saying to me. And it could have been something important because I don't know how many times I insinuated or assumed you said something to me. No, it really wasn't. I took it wrong, or I didn't hear everything that you said. I think it's very important. It's part of the communication, right? Like, it's me listening to what you just said to me.
Right.
So that's kind of where I've been really digging into this, asking better questions. And especially in a podcast world, like, I better come up with some really good questions because it's not even about me sitting here running my mouth like I am right now. It's really about me trying to come up with great questions to pull the information out of you. I'm not saying that I can't run my mouth a little bit, especially if I got to keep the conversation going, and I need to be good at that too. That's a different craft in itself.
Yeah.
Because I've had some pretty questionable.
I've had some
people,
really bad guests.
Yeah, that just was like, oh my God, like I couldn't wait till that freaking hour was up. It's like, oh, yep, I think we're.
Oh, I shut those down at 30.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
like, nah,
exactly.
these are only 30 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
But if my job is to be a communicator, and a part of being a communicator is I need to learn how to listen, shut my mouth, like you just said earlier. I got to shut up, and I actually have to listen to what you're saying and not think about what I'm going to say next.
So I started writing my book.
Okay.
And it's called Shut the Fuck Up and Listen.
I love it. Great title.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's literally the title of the book.
Let's talk about this a little bit. What inspired it?
Well, so the team method stuff that I've been doing, like that I've used in my keynote and everything, inspired it originally. And I wanted to figure out how to teach and how to talk about not only like what we do inside of our businesses, but how it translates into our personal life, how I've stolen things from my recovery, implemented it into my business and into my life, and how I treat people. But taking that team method of trust, empathy, authenticity, and meaning, and then adding a couple of things of being present, right? Of being present. How do we find connection, right? Because at the end of the day, what I realized as I was starting to write this out and communicating with the people that I'm writing it with, it was like, so the basis was trust, right? And that's what we talk about in CCM calls and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the basis is trust, and we're trying to we say we start with trust, but we don't. Trust is where we're trying to get to, right? Which is why we need to implement empathy and authenticity and meaning. But then what I realized was that, yes, trust was the ultimate goal, but the actual goal was connection. And that was what I felt like I've had times in my life that's what I was missing, right? When I was drinking and using still, what was I missing? Connection. How many times have we been in relationships with people and we felt like we had absolutely no connection, right? And we didn't take responsibility for any of that. We would just blame the other person, you know, for that thing. And so what I realized was that the ultimate goal was connection. So we worked through those 4 things to be able to get to connection. And then the other part of that is being present and figuring out how to be present and just shutting the fuck up and listening, because you can't learn anything if you think that you're always have to be the smartest person in the room. So I'm taking some stories of my life, of my past, of my present, and intertwining them together, but being able to teach those 4 or 5 pillars of what I'm trying to build. And I've built, I think we're doing 2 more recording sessions, and the goal, it's going to be tight window, but the goal is to have the book done and published with hardback copies by the time we go dive in January.
Nice.
So that I'm able to bring the book to the dive trip to give to everybody on the Unmastermind trip.
How ironic is it that this is our topic
right
now? Because I seriously didn't. You may have said in passing, like, "Yeah, I'm going to write a book," but
I don't know if I did. I don't tell anybody anything until I do it generally. Like, I don't even like talking about it now because it's not done. You know what I mean? Like, I like to just show up and go, look what I did. I don't like to talk about what I'm doing, but anyway.
That's very cool. Cause that's kind of where I'm at my season. But what I was thinking about when you were talking, it's like, I want you to write another book in 10 years on the same topic and where you're at then compared to now and how those stories have shifted.
Oh, for sure.
And your perspective on that.
Yeah. They probably won't be as interesting.
It might be the things you may have learned that you may have contradicted yourself in this book this time. And I'm not trying to get you to second guess yourself.
No.
But as I'm sitting, like, as the season I'm in right now, my perspective on things are totally different than they were 5 years ago.
For sure.
3 years ago.
For sure.
So to hear you, maybe write something later, 3 years from now, like, I wrote this book, shut your fucking mouth, or whatever it was. And listen.
Shut your fucking mouth. That's what it's called.
Yeah. That wouldn't surprise me.
No, it's close.
Okay. But because I've known you for a few years now, and I've seen some growth. We've talked about some painful shit that was going on in your life and how you got through it. And it's very inspiring too at times. And you've also been a vending box for me too, to call you up and be like, hey, so-and-so is not playing very nicely in the sandbox today.
Right.
But I just, as we're growing, because this is the thing, a lot of people aren't worried about improving anything. Their life, their lifestyle, their living situation, the physical, mental health.
They're fine existing.
Yeah, right. Yeah. They just are. They're existing, right? Like you're just barely getting by. And to hang out with cool ass people like you, and to be on your Call Culture Movement call each week. And we're growing, we're all growing. No, like there's a few of us here and we're high-fiving each other and kind of like winking because we're in like this little secret society. It's actually not secret, but anyhow, Eric, let's talk before I go. Let's talk about the Call Culture Movement. Let's plug that.
Thank you. Yeah. So we, as I had done speaking for 2 or 3 years, I always had people come up to me and were like, hey, that was great. How do we, like, how do we work together? I'm like, yeah, that's not what I fucking do. I'm like, I don't know. Right. Like I never got on stages when I keynoted here a couple of years ago. Like I didn't have anything to sell. Right. And I'm not saying that I should have, but like, I didn't have anything to sell. I was just there because like, I genuinely wanted to be able to give back and like help. I hoped that somebody got something from it and it helped them. Right. But then as I had all these people would reach out to me and want more help, I was like, that's awesome. And I love doing that. But at the same time, like I've got a business to run. I've got a family to take care of. I've got all of these other things that are also going on in my life. And I want to make time for this, but like, y'all need to schedule the fucking time. Right. And that was where it became a struggle. And I was like, well, what if I made a group of like-minded, dudes that we all got together twice a month we have this accountability call. We talk through problems. We like go through all this stuff, and we teach the team method and everything else that comes with it. And what would that look like? And I had no idea. Right.
Mhm.
And so I just said, fuck it, I'm going to launch it. And I launched it. And, you know, we've got an amazing group of dudes that show up and it's not, I mean, it's just dudes now. Right. But
Mhm.
like, I mean, it's not exclusive.
Right.
Right. Like females can come. But we have this amazing group of men that are okay talking about what they're going through. And I think that the thing that I didn't know if it would happen organically, and it did, was how much everybody else in the group would help everybody else in the group. And it doesn't just have to be me showing up and coaching and teaching. And it's like, I'll bring the information,
Mhm.
but like, let's all participate, right? This isn't the Eric show. This is the you show, right?
Mhm.
Like this group is for all of you to be able to level up and become better. And you might get on a call, and that call might not have, you know, like that might not have been exactly what you needed that day, but you know what, when it is the next time, it's all worth it.
Mhm.
Right. And then the fact that I spun it off into being able to put a group together to do the trip, to do the retreat 1 or 2 times a year.
Yeah.
Like I have always wanted to do my own thing with that. And the fact that I was like, well, it's my thing. So let's go dive.
Mhm.
Right. Like,
Mhm.
and if nobody wants to go, fine, I'll fucking go by myself. Like that's fine. I got no problem with that. But what that turned into was amazing. I
Mhm.
can't wait for the next one in January. I think we only have 2 spots left,
Okay.
maybe, for it right now.
Cool.
It's going to be smaller than the last one.
Okay.
Unless like I get 6 more people that really want to go, then I'll go get a couple other places to stay.
Yeah.
But I'm so excited for that, just because like when I get to share the thing that I'm most passionate about, which is being underwater, like that's the recreational activity that like impacts me the most, because like I'm in this space that you're not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Right. We are not supposed to coexist with the things that are 150 feet down in the water. Right. We're not supposed to see those things. And let me tell you, if I'm not supposed to fucking be somewhere,
Mhm.
guess where I want to go?
Mhm.
There.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do. Right. And the lessons that we learned that we didn't even intend to learn with the new guys that were diving, like yourself,
Mhm.
and the fear that everybody overcame, and then watching the experienced guys step up and be like, here, I got you.
Mhm.
Right. Like, let me talk to you about this. Let me help you with that. I did not plan that.
Mhm.
Right. I didn't plan that. That shit just happened organically, and it was fucking awesome. That's what made me super, super happy, was how that came together. So I'm going to keep doing it until people don't want to hang out with me anymore. Right.
Mhm.
But like, if you're looking for a group, we'd love to interview you. We don't let everybody in. Like, you got to be a fit, you know, for the group. But like, I love having that as part of my life now.
Mhm.
And I never thought that I would.
Yeah. No, I
Cultureprogram.com.
okay. Cultureprogram.com.
Yep.
Yeah. Check it out. Cause I joined up, I don't know, a couple of months ago, potentially.
It was longer than that,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's probably 4 or 5 months ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I look forward to it as one of my calls on.
And you show up.
Yeah. Yeah.
You show up.
Yeah. And I don't, sit there and run my mouth, but like you said, the intimacy of the group. Okay. And the vulnerability, it's probably a better word.
Yeah.
The vulnerability in that group is what I needed.
Yeah.
Right. There's people talking about they're dealing with, salespeople that aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing, or just anything. It's personal and professional. And everybody there is there to grow.
Yeah.
Right. Like we're looking for the solution here. It's not this bitch fest about like our wives or our children's not children right, or what. Just it's we're there. You come up, and like you said, it's not the Eric show. You come up with the topics, right? And you kind of forewarn us, like, hey guys, this week in our group chat, you're like, hey, we're gonna, or finish your book or whatever it is. You're like the gatekeeper, or keep us on the rail guy.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But it's an open forum, and if you don't let anybody quiet, like, hey, we haven't heard from you for a minute. What's on your mind? Right. You called me out, I think last week, and because I'm an introvert, I'll sit there and just listen.
Right.
But if you ask me a question, then my mouth opens up, and then it's like, okay, well, Ty, you got
now we got to cut it down, Ty.
Yeah. A little bit.
I always feel bad doing that, by the way.
Yeah.
Like when we,
Right.
especially when we get to
Yeah.
the end of a meet,
Right.
a call or
Of
whatever,
course.
and I'm like, fuck, it's 11
Right.
or whatever.
And everyone's time is valuable.
Right.
And I understand that. And we're busy. It's the middle of the work day.
Right.
We got to get back to work. But it breaks my week up and I look forward to it. And then the scuba diving trip, man. Exhale.
Yeah.
Game changer.
Yeah.
I've not been the same person. It's giving me goosebumps.
Really?
Yeah. You know that, dude. I went through this emotional ride of like, I'm going, I'm not going, I'm going, I'm not going. I
forgot about that.
I did.
You fucking canceled 3 times. And I was like, no.
I am not supposed to be underwater holding my breath that long. Like, fuck.
You don't hold your breath.
I know.
You'll die if you hold your breath.
So I went to this swimming pool up in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, and did my dive lessons up there. And I almost drowned 3 times. And in a pool, a 6-foot pool, almost drowned.
Just fucking stand up.
Yeah. And so I'm like, so the first day wasn't that bad. The problem with it is they're showing you all worst case scenarios underwater.
Sure.
Okay, so that's what's going on. So it's not fun. It's not pleasant. They want you to fucking drown half, but learn how to save yourself. Like, pull your thing out. Act like you run out of air. And I'm like, fuck, shit. And I went up and I'm choking and I'm gagging. She's like, you can blow water back into the, what's that thing called? Regulator. I was like, really? She's like, you could spit in it, throw up in it.
Yeah.
So that, I was like, oh shit, I didn't know that. So like when I pulled out, and if I did get a little bit of water in my mouth, it was fine because I could just blow it right back out. But then I kept struggling with, because I've been taught, it's been instilled in me that like in through your nose, out through your mouth. Anytime you get stressed out, if you're, trying to meditate, if you're working out, if you're lifting weights, whatever, it's like in through your nose, out through your mouth. Well, you can't do that. You got to learn how to breathe like this.
Yeah.
And not heavy, because you're going to suck all the air out of the oxygen tank. So you got to regulate how you're breathing. So you got
air.
Yeah.
Air tank.
Air tank. What do I call it?
Oxygen.
Yeah. Air tank.
That's how, for people watching, if somebody says an oxygen tank, that's how you know they don't actually dive.
Yeah. So I don't actually dive.
Well, you do though. You're learning. You're still learning. You're still a little new.
Yeah.
But that is the difference.
Yeah.
Because oxygen is what you take on the boat if you get decompression sickness, and they fucking put oxygen like on your face,
no doubt.
Pure oxygen. Because if you breathe the oxygen, pure oxygen underwater, you die.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yep.
So right now,
go on.
Okay, so good.
Learn something.
Yeah. So I got through that. Even made it through everything. She signed, gave me. I got a book. She stamped it, did everything. But now you still have to do what's called an open water test over in Cayman. So I get home. I'm like, man, I'm not doing this. I call Eric up. I'm like, Eric, he's like, you didn't even take your testing. I was like, I did. He's like, and you're not going. I'm like, dude, I'm not going to do it. I can't do it. It like goes against everything that like I was taught. Like, you're not supposed to be underwater that deep for that long and breathe and all this shit. And it's like, I'm going to die. And so I was laying in bed and I thought to myself, what kind of leader, the word leader or person or father, right, would I be if I can't get through this? Right. Like, I've gone through a lot worse things, a lot worse situations that I've put myself in, and things that I didn't necessarily put myself in. But if I can't get through this, what is my team? Because my entire team knew I was doing this.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, Vic did. A handful of other people knew, because I don't know how they knew, but they knew, probably because talking on the podcast or whatever about it. And so I was laying in bed and I was like, I'm going to do it. I have to do this, because if I can get through this, then I can get, it's another one of those milestones or those stepping stones that we push ourselves with, that just push ourselves hard enough. Like, okay, if I can accomplish this, okay, what's the next goal? What's the next goal? So this was one of those very uncomfortable situations that if I knew I could get through this, there wouldn't be a whole lot that I can't get through, because drowning is one of my biggest fears. And the backstory on that is that I did drown as a child. I love the water. I love being on the water and I love being around the water, but I don't necessarily like being, and I've snorkeled once or twice like that, but I don't necessarily like water.
Snorkeling sucks. You have to work so hard.
Water in my face. Like I just remember looking up and not being able to get to the top. And it just, so all of this shit's kind of coming, resurfacing now. Right. Cause, and so I'm like, I'm not going to do it. So I called you up and I was like, I'm not going to go. And after I even talked myself into going, I was like, I'm not going to go. I don't have time.
Yeah.
I work.
You did make some bullshit excuses.
Yeah. Work's busy right now.
You literally called me and said, I'm busy. And I was like, don't you have a team? And you're like, yeah, but they need me. I'm like, no, they fucking don't. I'm like, there isn't anybody there that needs you for 5 fucking days.
Right. Seriously. So 5 minutes later, I called you back.
Yes.
I was like, I'm going. He's like, well, that's good because I didn't get rid of your spot.
No, I was never going to, because
Yeah.
I was harassing your wife.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I was harassing your wife to make sure and be like, tell him not to be a pussy.
Yeah. So she encouraged, she really did encourage. She's like, Ty, you should really do this.
And you're glad you did.
Oh man, I still to this day, I am a different person. I compare that to uncomfortable situations that happen throughout the course of the day, the week, right? Compare it to that. And it's like, fuck, dude, we were 130 feet
Right.
on my third dive of my life.
Yeah.
Okay. With a turtle that came right
On
here.
like 5 sharks.
And 5 sharks. We got to swim with sharks, which is what a nominee the first time.
The way that it happened
Diving?
for us was, I mean, like you'll see him on that side that we were on, but
Mhm.
like the fact that it was like literally one of our first dives and we dropped down and there was like 4, 5, 6 sharks just
Mhm.
fucking circling.
Yeah.
That's odd.
Yeah.
Like that was pretty awesome. It was like I planned that
Mhm.
and I did. Like, because we'll go back and like we could dive for 4 days and not see one shark.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you don't know what's going to be where.
Yeah.
It's not like we put up bait.
No doubt. Yeah.
You know?
And chummed them.
Yeah.
Right. No, but the experience, there were so many things there. So Tim Brown was my dive partner and both of us were new at this. So to encourage each other, right? We're supposed to lean on other people for help, ask questions, stuff like that. And you know, so again, I got to step outside my comfort zone. Like, hey, Tim, I'm not feeling real comfortable. Neither am I. All right. But we're both going to do this together. Right.
Yeah.
So we kind of coached each other through, like, we're going to do this. And Tim actually was practicing in the pool when he got back.
Yeah.
Like crazy. Like this guy was like, I know he didn't want to do it just as bad as I didn't want to do it, but we both weren't going to let each other down. Like we made a commitment to ourselves.
I don't
that,
think I knew that part.
yeah, like we're going to do this.
Yeah.
We're going to get through this together and we're going to get down and we're going to be swim buddies. So we figured out all the hand signals, like this fucking sucks. Or no, I'm good. You're good. No, this sucks.
Yeah.
I'm
That
going-
actually means I'm out of air.
Yeah.
So don't do that.
Okay. Whatever it was. I did this quite often with
Yeah.
him though.
That's funny. That's the one that people get so irritated with is like dive instructors do,
Yeah.
because when somebody goes on a dive trip, when they get done for like 5 days, everything is you're fucking doing that all the time. And it's
Yeah.
hilarious because like
Mhm.
you're used to it underwater because everybody looks like, are you okay?
Mhm.
Because that's all it means. It's like, are you okay? Is everything good? Is your mask good? Is your, like,
Mhm.
is your setup good? But you do that for like a week or two,
Mhm.
don't you? And you're just
Mhm.
doing it to people in the
Mhm.
office. And they're like, why the fuck is Ty doing this to me?
Totally did. Because that's the only form of communication in the
Yes.
water that you have.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And we're doing this back and forth to each other. Like, and I've been a couple times he come over to me and was like,
Yeah.
we're good. We're
Right.
good.
Right.
We're good. And so getting through that with him and creating that bond with him, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't know how to create a bond with, especially another man.
But you create bonds through trauma and fear.
Yes. Right. We totally did.
You don't
there's
create
so
bonds
many,
through wins.
so many metaphors to that trip, man,
Mhm.
that like, it just has made me a better father, a better human being,
Love
a
that.
better partner, like a better friend.
Yeah. I
Like-
can't wait till the next one. I have a couple ideas. So wait, on the last one, if you notice, like I had no agenda on purpose, right? I wanted to see what organically would happen with the group.
Mhm.
I'm trying to make this one just a little more, I don't want to say organized, but like agenda. Like I've got a vision of like a couple of people that I want to bring in
Mhm.
to conversate with, because I've got some things that since I started writing this book, honestly, it like brought out some things that like I was like, oh, I really care about that. Like I should talk about that more, like lean into that a little bit
Mhm.
more.
Mhm.
So I'm not going to say what it is that I'm trying to bring in,
Yeah.
but I've got a couple ideas. I want to try and find people that are actually on the island already that specialize in this thing. So I don't have to fly somebody in for 10 grand because
Yeah.
to be fair, nobody's paying enough for me to be able to do that.
For
right.
sure.
Like I'm not making a bunch of money on these. Like
Yeah.
I do better than break even, but fucking barely.
Mhm.
Right. Like
Yeah.
barely. And so I want to try and find a couple people on the island to come in and do a little bit of, I don't want to call it coaching, but just some education
Mhm.
while we're there.
Cool.
So it's not, again, I'm super happy with how it turned out last time because
Mhm.
that was my first time doing it. But I want to have a little bit more structure to it this time.
Yeah, no, it was great. The atmosphere, the people
Yeah.
that you selected to come, great group of
We
men.
did get lucky with that.
Yeah,
Like nobody pissed me off,
no, it was great. The
and I'm
house-
easily pissed off.
right, and like you said, you couldn't charge enough for the experience that you
Oh,
provided
that's good to know.
for us.
I should charge more.
I mean, between the house, the food, we had our own cook
Yeah.
in the house,
Yeah.
like
And he was awesome.
amazing
Yeah,
food.
and I got him
food.
back again
We
this
had
time.
access to food and drinks the entire time, even though we had set times that we ate. There
Yeah.
was still food
Yeah.
available, and it wasn't. There was the only uncomfortable part was being on the boat doing the dive thing. But outside of that, the fellowship and the camaraderie that was made and built from that trip. Joe Hoffman and I are closer now. We've never been that close till that trip. Tim Brown and I, like, dude, like, we're BFFs, okay, from this trip. That drew us closer together. George.
Yeah.
Right? Like, George, it was cool hanging out with
impossible not to love George.
Yeah, George is so cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I apologize repeatedly to him that I was so mean to him the very first time that I met him because I didn't know who he was.
It was here.
Yeah, it was RoofCon 5 years ago. 4.
No, 3.
3? Okay.
Yeah, it was the one right after COVID. So it would have been 21 or 22.
Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't know who he was, but
you thought he was selling something.
I did. He just kept following me around. I thought he was trying to sell me some shit or something. But George, good old George, man. Like, and dude, to see him in his atmosphere,
his element.
Yeah, and his element like that was cool. And his what's his buddy's name?
Jamie.
Is it Jamie?
Well, Jamie was the English guy that was helping.
Maybe.
He was filming.
Yes. Yeah, Jamie.
That's Jamie.
Yes. Yeah. I'm hell with names.
And Jamie just left this month.
Oh,
he
really?
Went back to England. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
both of them great dudes. And then the captain of the boat, what was his name? Kevin was a great dude too.
Yeah.
Helped us through getting our the rest of our certification and all that stuff, and took us to the great spots to take us diving. Like the whole atmosphere, the food, especially the food, it just wasn't like microwavable shit. Like there was a gourmet chef that was in the kitchen, mixing shit up and making like real good local stuff and some Americanized shit too. But great experience. Keep doing it. Continue to keep doing it. Cult Culture Movement. What's your website?
Cultcultureprogram.com.
Cultcultureprogram.com.
CCM.
Yeah, check it out because it has changed my life in just a short period of time. The calls, the diving experience. I'm looking forward to. There won't be no backing out on this one. No, because I want to become a diver.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, my TM Brad Whitlock with GAF was super proud of me. Him and his wife, his whole entire family are divers.
Oh, cool.
And he's invited me for years, for a decade, to go diving with him. And I was like, nah, I'm not diving.
Now every trip you take will revolve around, can I dive there?
Yeah, no doubt. I've already thought that.
Everywhere I go, it's like, can I bring my gear?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hey, I can't bring my gear? Oh, we're not going then.
Right. Yeah, right. No, and it's good because it's almost like a spiritual experience of getting someplace where you've never been before, but that's where God is. And not to get all woo-woo and shit, but like the living stuff plant between the plants. The turtle was probably the greatest thing for me. This turtle, and this is what I needed because I think I started to get in like this little panic mode a little bit where I just couldn't get my head to acclimate. Like it wanted to pop, it didn't want to pop. Like this turtle came over, and it's probably a 200-year-old turtle.
Yep.
Literally came over, just all calm and tranquil. Yeah, and like looked me right in my eyes and let me touch him. Okay. And then he went away. And then I saw Tim was over there. Everybody was like, oh my God, look at this thing, because it had like barnacles and like shit growing off of it. Like literally like seaweed was like growing off of this turtle. It was like amazing. And then he came back through and I didn't see him. And I can't get my shit right. Like I can't float right yet. Like I'm still like trying to swim like this.
It's because you're overweight. I'm just telling you so you know next time.
Okay.
Because if your ass goes down, it means you got too much weight.
Okay.
So you're freaking out because you're like, I got to sink.
Yeah.
Right. So you're overweighted. So what you do on this next trip is work on your getting
buoyancy.
less weight.
Okay.
Right. I'm 225 pounds. How much do you weigh?
170.
Okay. I dive with 4 pounds. You probably had 12.
That's fair to say. Eight or 12, something like that. Yeah.
So like the more then you can go on plane. I'm sorry. Back to the turtle.
No, that's cool. And then he circled back around. I thought he left and he came through my legs. Because like I said, I was floating like a seahorse in there. And he came through my legs and I was like, okay, dude, we got this. Like, this is the most amazing experience of my life right now. Like, enjoy, be in the now, be where my feet are.
Because you have to be.
Yes.
You don't have a fucking choice when you're there.
No.
You do not have a choice whether or not to be present when you're there. Right. And I think that's why I love it so much. And I was literally I interviewed Joe Hoffman just 2 hours ago, and we were talking about this. And diving for me is where I found more of my spirituality and my higher power, whatever you want to call it, because I was existing in a world that I was not supposed to exist in, right? And for some reason, to me, that's where God was.
No doubt.
Right? And I don't know, I can't explain it. I don't know why. but like when I die, like I don't get anxious. I get calmer. I track my heart rate on this while I'm diving, and like I'm in the 50s, right? You are not.
No,
right?
Not even close.
We'll get you there,
Never.
right? But like my heart rate goes down. I chill out.
Mhm.
My breathing slows down, and I'm like present, and I'm like one with this environment that I'm in that I'm not supposed to be in. I'm existing somewhere that I'm not supposed to exist, right? Who knows? That could be death. Right. Like, I mean, like understanding that, like, I've been on such of these weird journeys and these interviews, like that I did with Becca and everything. And like, she opened my eyes to all these different, you know, parts of my life. Like, I want to go to fucking Peru next year and fucking do a ayahuasca trip. And like, I understand that that's conflicting with my sobriety, but fuck it. Like, I really want to, I want to do these things to open up my senses to the world as a whole. I don't want to be on my deathbed saying that I didn't get to experience everything that I could experience in my life. And so I'm going to make every single effort. And if that means I need to put the fucking shit together and get people to come with me, let's fucking go.
Let's
right?
do
Like
it.
that's the thing. I want to experience shit with people that I like.
That's good. You know, and to get back to our earlier conversation, if you wouldn't have interviewed Becca, you wouldn't know these things existed.
No.
Right? By allowing her to come into your space and asking her these right questions, and she's opening your mind, right? Like, because you were asking her questions. And she's cool. Joe Huffman, awesome. Fountain of knowledge, another good person. But by stepping outside of our comfort zone, we learn a lot more about ourselves, about other people. We learn how to care. We learn how to be in the moment, be where our feet are. And that trip for me has opened my eyes to help me be where I'm at. Step outside your comfort zone, because this may be the best thing that has ever happened to you. And once we got through that and we were home, dude, I was probably the calmest. And I think I'm still kind of riding on like this calm. You know what I mean? I don't feel like I'm so short tempered. I feel like, I don't know, it really has changed my how I feel and look at things much differently, because I don't know if maybe it was like at first like a near death experience is how I felt about it. Right. But then I got through it, and it turned out to be like one of the most magical things that I've ever got to experience. So like, I don't know if it was almost like I died and was like reborn almost going through that trip. In Cayman.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I came home and like, I don't know, I just felt like I didn't get so overwhelmed. I still don't feel like I get so overwhelmed. Like even during this whole setup thing, a couple of people were like, how are you so calm through something like this? Like, well, you should have saw me fucking last year, because, you know, I was probably tripping out about something.
Yep. You were.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah. Something, I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was the Wi-Fi or they wouldn't let us in something. Right. But like, I just kind of look at things differently. I'm a little more calmer. And I realized, because I think one of the things is I'm tired of showing my ass of because of my behavior, because of something happening, not just dealing with it and getting through it with competency. Right. And realizing that everyone, especially on my team, is watching me, how I get through situations. How do I handle situations? And getting back to why I went was because I felt like all eyes were on me. And if I couldn't get through this, what if we went through a recession? What if we went through something like, our leader's not the guy that we want in charge right now. So for me, going on that scuba trip made me a better person, father, son, entrepreneur, all those things, because of getting this. So thank you. Thank you. I don't know if I thanked you or not, but I'm thanking you now. We're definitely at our 1 hour mark here. Is there something you want to leave us with? I know we covered a lot of stuff.
We did,
today.
man. You know, I leave everybody with what we talked about today that I think is important is being present, right? Being present for your people in whatever space that you're in, right? All of this shit that we just talked about today translates to your family. It translates to your office. It translates to your employees. It translates to everything that you do. If it makes you feel better by thinking about it from a business standpoint, and it's easier to digest, cool, go ahead. But then don't be the dipshit that doesn't take those same lessons and go home, because I see that more than anything with myself, even, that I can be more patient and more present at work than I can at home. And that's a fucking mistake, right? So if we're going to preach this shit at the office, if we're going to preach this shit with our people that we work with every day, then don't be a fucking hypocrite and not do it at home. right? Because, and here's the reason why you do that. It's because those are the people that you take for granted, right? And that's bullshit, right? You don't take everybody at work for granted because you're like, oh, I hope they don't quit. I hope they don't blah, blah, blah. I really got to invest into this theory and this thing that I need to work on, right? But when you're home, you're like, she ain't fucking going anywhere. Where the fuck's my kid going to go? Like, they need to eat, right?
Yeah.
But then you lose the connection and you lose the trust and you lose all the things that we were just talking about if you don't translate those things. So like, that's why coming here, when you learn these business lessons, realize that what they're really teaching you are life lessons, right? They're teaching you life lessons and a way to live, right? Use that and don't take that for granted, because there's opportunities in everything that we do to be able to implement that into your life, not just into your organization.
And I love that. I love that. Practice these principles in all your affairs.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? For real. So here we are. We're at our hour mark here, man. We really appreciate everybody tuning in. Don't forget to like, love, subscribe, share, put some comments in there. If there's something that you guys want to hear us talk about on the next time that we go live, or next week, or in about an hour here, please don't hesitate to put it in the comments. We're here all week, so we'll see you probably in the next 30 minutes.
Good job.